you see you later, you're going to get fined.
Yeah, extrinsic reward and punishment.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because you do not feel the need to keep the Singapore clean. Instead, you feel the need of keeping your wallet safe.
Hello everyone and welcome to SGNow. I am in the studio today with Dharmhik.
Hey.
See, today I was talking to Dharmhik and I was saying that he isn't really a giggly person, but I had to introduce him as being giggly, and it's true. You are very giggly.
Sometimes.
So he says. Our other guest in the house today is none other than Mr. Steffan Fung, whom, this is an interesting fact, right? He used to be a commando, but not only was he a commando, he was in the special forces. Wow. He also runs an initiative called Elixir. Now, would you like to tell us a little bit more about what you do?
Sure. Hey, hi everybody, I'm Steffan, founder and CEO of Elixir. So Elixir is a community-driven fitness initiative, right? Meant to get the community active and fit through military-inspired workout events.
Wow, okay.
We try to make it fun, we try to make it interesting, not so hardcore, but rather something aspirational where community can participate and be a part of.
You also have an initiative called Clear the Path.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure, yeah. So Clear the Path is an initiative we started about more than a year ago. And the main intent is to get some of the fitness enthusiasts to take care of the environment that we operate in. Because when we do trail runs, when we do hiking and rucking, we do come across trails that is dirty.
Right.
Yep, so which is why we thought that, hey, why not let's combine fitness with picking up trash together, and we call it plogging.
Plogging.
Plogging, right. And then the title to that would be Clear the Path.
Right. Plogging sounds very interesting, but we're going to talk a little bit more about plogging soon. And my friend Dharmhik here went out into the world to find out just what the trash situation in Singapore is like. So check it out.
Hey guys, so today I want to talk about how green Singapore is or dirty. So I want to walk around, ask some people some questions. Let's go. Okay guys, we are currently in Woodlands or Marsiling, and I found my first interviewee. So let's get introduce his name. So what's your name? How long have you been here? Let's get out of here. Around your neighborhood, do you see a lot of bulky trash?
Bulky, no, but small trash, yeah.
Would you say that a lot of it?
The small trash?
Yeah.
Yeah, in particular cigarette butts.
Oh, so cigarette butts are the worst case.
Yeah, I say it's the most common.
I see. Do you have any thoughts on how we could better reduce rubbish or trash on our streets and void decks?
For bulky trash, I feel like there should be a designated area, maybe a bit highlighted to make people know that it's a designated area for bulky trash, and then maybe just put some either flyers or something to show that, or signs to show that, okay, this is to put bulky trash.
Talk to me about your experience with trash around your area.
For me, because I stay right next to a hill and I stay on the second floor, so it's like every single time I can see a lot of people littering across me, and like sometimes when they litter, they stare straight into my house. It's a bit terrifying, and like I feel very uncomfortable sometimes. And the type of like trash that gets thrown in there is like, it varies from both bulky and like non-bulky stuff. I've seen a nutcase throw an iPad or like a bunch of mobile phones. And
A bunch of them.
Yeah, a bunch of them. But like they're all like completely dead because I tried like fixing them myself.
I see. Whoa, okay. Okay, and finally, do you have any possible solutions to our trash problem in Singapore?
I think the trash problems in Singapore, they can be fixed with a bit more like educational like videos, maybe posters, multimedia stuff, where it's like it teaches people on like the legit detrimental stuff that trash does and stuff. Because sometimes people just throw it away mindlessly out of pure convenience and all. Like it happens so often that like it's just a rinse and repeat. But not in a good way.
Okay, after looking around today, it was not as easy as we thought searching out for trash. I mean, we did find like, newspapers or tissue papers or even used masks around on the ground. Do we need someone else telling us how to behave? I mean, we're not children, are we? And I think we can be responsible and we should take this into our own hands. With that said, this has been CityJo Dharmhik for Singapore One. Stay green, guys.
So Dharmhik, tell us, what was your experience like filming the story?
I realized that there is like small rubbish everywhere.
In Singapore?
Yeah, I mean, just between my house and the MRT, the path I take, all the areas with grass will either have like littered with cigarette butts all over, or if not, I found used masks. It's got a whole variety from plastic bags. Someone even left there, just like they drank bubble tea, just left it on the chair and walked off.
Oh God.
It's like,
And how did that make you feel then, filming that story and interviewing different Singaporeans?
I feel that I'll say that I'm not completely disgusted because I know there are a lot worse out there. There are other countries where you walk out of your house and it's just straight up trash everywhere. But it's also kind of sad to see that we are known as the garden city, and then you walk into the garden and then you find all this trash around.
That's a good analogy. We are the garden city, but suddenly we're kind of,
Yeah.
piling up with trash, which brings us back to clear the path. What is plogging? Where does this word come from?
Right, so plogging as in Plogging.
Oh.
Right. So this word came about where we have members of the public running, hiking or walking, and then picking up trash at the same time. And how it really started was because I got to know this organization called Special Olympics Singapore, which are athletes suffering from autism, ADHD. So I thought, what could we as citizens do as an activity incorporating both fitness, good for the environment, and helping the community?
Wow. Fitness and, environmentally aware and also community driven. I never had these three things combined into one.
Yeah. So we thought that, hey, if you were to bring the athletes, the Special Olympic athletes out to hike and pick up trash, you're allowing the citizens to interact with the athletes, you're helping the environment, and you're making the community aware that there's actually trash around.
Yeah.
And so we started this initiative called Clear the Path.
Wow, okay. How many years ago did you start this?
Slightly more than a year ago, I would say.
Fantastic. And how has it been so far?
I think the interesting about this activity is that you can get citizens with different fitness level come together on a fitness activity that everybody can participate in together. Because we know that if you were to run or you swim or you were to do certain activities, sometimes not everybody can progress at the same pace. But when you're walking and picking up trash together, you realize that everybody can do the activity together at the same time. And the athletes, they feel empowered that, hey, I'm doing something that the normal citizens are also working on.
Yeah.
And they feel good about it.
Do you feel that the citizens' mindsets have changed since they've been members of Clear the Path?
I would say that I see some individuals taking on the activity on their own. And because truth be told, Elixir do not need to organize the activity for you to pick up trash. Because once we make this a social movement, the citizens can do it on their own in their decentralized group.
Yeah.
And that's the intent when I first started this initiative.
Yeah.
Let it be a decentralized execution. It's really a social movement,
Yeah.
because when you see people doing this cool thing, when you are running or you're walking and you hold a trash and tongs and then you start to pick up rubbish, people feel that, hey, it's a pretty cool activity. And that is when members of the public then want to become a part of it.
Yes. It's all about the social network.
Yes, it's a social network effect, really.
So you've seen the effect kind of take place.
Yeah, for sure.
Would you like to try plogging?
I mean, I wouldn't mind. It sounds like interesting. I mean, I can force all my friends to come along. If I was worse, I just call my friends. Hey, wanna hang out? Yeah, meet me here. That is just to force them to it.
I really grew up with this culture of picking up trash anyway, because my dad used to run the zoo. And what we would do when I visit the zoo every morning is that we would walk around the zoo and pick up trash.
Right.
Because wherever you go, at any tourist location or anywhere in Singapore, there is trash. It makes me feel a little bit confused and angry. Us being this, as Professor Tomiko had said, us being a first world nation, why does it seem like we have third world citizens. Sorry, the citizens shouldn't be littering so much. Is our country supposedly clean and green because of an army of sanitized workers? What do you think? Dharmik, what do you think about this?
Okay, I'm not going to say yes or no because I feel like I agree mostly to the point. As long as there are people who are just nonchalantly throwing their cigarette butts around, it's not going to help that you have like an army of people cleaning up after them because it's never going to stop.
I think the workers do help us keep the environment clean and green for sure. But from a social movement perspective, it's really up to your individual if you even start to throw that first piece of trash. Because truth be told, you see one cigarette butt on the ground, and if I'm a smoker, I see one, I'm thinking that, hey, look, it's just another one. And then it goes on. So it really starts with that first person to not do it, or for the first person to start picking up trash, where the rest of the folks will be thinking, hey, look, this is cool. I'm doing something that's environmentally friendly, I'm working out, I'm helping the community, and let's do it.
Do you think that our trash actually has increased since we've moved from a, pandemic into an endemic? Because I read an article that our waste has increased since, the pandemic has sort of eased up, so more people are going out.
From the various episodes of Clear the Path that we've been involved in, I wouldn't say there's I wouldn't say there's a drastic increase, but I do see ad hoc pieces of trash in the most unbelievable places.
Like where?
Like case in point, you see a big Ziploc bag filled with trash in the middle of Chestnut Nature Reserve.
Oh dear.
Which you know that is definitely dropped by human being and it's not blown there by wind.
Everything I see is usually like stuff that you can just easily flick and it's gone out of your sight.
I mean, the consequence of our trash is not only on us as humans, but we're really affecting our animals. And in an article I read, even our neighbors, the Malaysians, there was this article, I get so angry when I talk about trash. I become like a little grandmother. But there was this Singapore car that went across the border and was throwing out its trash out the window in Malaysia, with these two Malaysians commenting on it. See, you come from Singapore, you come to our country, Malaysia, and you use it as a dumping ground. Do you remember some of these campaigns that we've had for cleanliness, Steffan?
I think when I was growing up, I do remember the Clean the Singapore River campaign.
That's right.
So that pretty much tells you how old I am. What about
Dharmik, once our Singapore river was very dirty.
I heard about it, right?
Once upon a time.
Usually you hear about this in like social studies and stuff. That how
so now we become part of the history.
And also we have some of the strictest fines and also corrective work orders meant to deter littering. What are your thoughts about that, corrective work orders?
My sense is CWO, corrective work order, is meant to shame the offenders so that they will not want to do it again. In the same light, how we are making Clear the Path become a social movement to make the citizens feel cool that they're doing something good for the environment.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like two sides of the coin.
Dharmik, do you have friends who litter, or have you seen any of your friends litter?
I mean, obviously everyone has a friend who litters, but they don't like do it in front of, like do it right in front of everyone else. I've not seen any of my friends litter. Usually when you have rubbish, they just palm it, put it in a pocket, and when they finally pass by a rubbish bin, they throw it.
So you don't have a lot of smoker friends?
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's the ones I see litter the most, right? They're just this act of flicking their butts like...
I mean, it's like what? The butt is this small, just throw it and it's outside, no one will notice.
Yeah, they feel that it's just another one.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think we don't want to stereotype just smokers. I mean, even for runners who run on trails, they will also start to sometimes and just flick it away. And
water bottle.
Yeah, exactly, water bottle. And you know that they do it purposely because if the bottle were to be just like 1 meter from the path, you know that it could be accidental. But if you see that Coke bottle like 3 meters into the trail, you know that somebody did it on purpose.
Or someone put a lot of force into that.
Exactly, and there is an effort to that act, and you know that's not the right thing to do already.
Or quoting the inconvenient truth. The fact is that litter has dire consequences on our ecosystem, on our animals, and the public health. And it just feels like, why can't we get Singaporeans to care more about where our trash goes. Like, what do you think is missing in our efforts?
My sense is that because you need to make, first of all, the act of not throwing trash a social movement. So that's number one. And number two, the act of picking up trash after yourself, if you do it accidentally.
Dharmik, how do you think we can make more people care?
No matter how many songs we may put out for, to save the world and whatever, right? The message lasts as long as that song is popular. Because the thing is that fundamentally people need to understand that holding on to that tissue paper for another 2 minutes is not going to kill you.
I know that there's some other movements like Ocean Purpose Movement. They
Yep.
pick up trash from the sea and the beach areas. Green Nudge also does a little bit of this. Ground Up Initiative and Clear the Path.
Yep.
I really salute you guys and you going off to do that video to help us change mindsets. What do you think, Steffan? Do you think people just we don't have anything to compare to, hence maybe we're a bit spoiled?
I would definitely agree that we don't know what we don't know, right? So, of course, education is one way, like through social studies and history, or even traveling to another country to see how it's like overseas.
So we can compare differences.
Exactly. From a social campaign standpoint, many a times our campaign hinges upon extrinsic motivation. For example, you walk 10,000 steps and you get to exchange for $5 voucher. How can we tweak that into an intrinsic motivation whereby you know that it's not the right thing to do and we don't do it? But how we can make it cool for you is that let's talk about it. Let's promote this social movement so that you feel that you're in it. Right? Because it's really this part about this FOMO whereby you feel that fear of missing out, that hey look, nobody's throwing trash but I'm the only guy doing it. And when you have like 10 pair of eyes darting down and looking at you throw that first piece of trash, you'll be like, okay, don't think that's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Actually, we're talking about the intrinsic and extrinsic motivation, right? Most of our solutions for keeping Singapore clean is extrinsic, as in you see you litter, you're gonna get fined.
Yeah, extrinsic
That's
reward and
intrinsic,
punishment.
yeah.
Exactly.
Because you do not feel the need to keep the Singapore clean. Instead, you feel the need of keeping your wallet safe.
So we're coming to a close, but before we end, I'd like to ask you some key takeaways that you got from today's conversation.
As we're talking about like how we need to get to the intrinsic of need to help to keep the environment clean. So I'm just thinking, how can I help? Because the thing is that I don't think I'll be able to like help out every week or so and go and pick up trash, but maybe I can find a way to like spread, the message around that there is more need for people to do more stuff like blogging instead of, just tweeting about, we keep the environment clean.
Yeah, we have to stop being keyboard warriors and
Yeah.
actually start being warriors. Thanks for that. What about you, Steffan?
I think it's interesting that this little social movement we started more than a year ago is being picked up by mainstream media and even by Singapore One. And I think it's a good step forward. Slowly but surely, if we do this together, I think there could be some big things that will happen in time to come.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you both. This chat really reminds me that a small effort goes a long, long way, just like how Steffan started his initiative 1 year ago and see where it has grown today. Now, it's really, really important to remind yourself to not litter, to recycle, and to do our part because it does make a difference. Well, we've come to the end of our discussion today. If you've liked what you've been listening to and what you've been watching, and you want to add to the conversation, which I highly encourage you to do, please leave your comments in the comments section below. We'll be reading and we want to read your comments. And if you like the video, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Also, we have our CityJos in NFTs. We've got the Giggly Dharmhik. Yeah, I'm gonna buy him later on today after the show. So that's all we have for you today. Thank you so much. And remember, stay green. Bye bye. Now we're gonna talk.